Well, here we go, folks, and welcome to another Tuesday night live cast, and it's a special one. We're talking Tuesday night doubleheader. We got some big guests on tonight, and we're going to talk about some pretty exciting things that are happening in the industry out there. Tonight, we're very blessed to be joined by Billy Mcdonald and, of course, David Dudley after that. We're going to talk about what's going on in the MLF Big 5 for 2021 for the Pro Tour, and also Lowrance has announced a brand new product that's shaking the whole industry up. We're talking about Active Target, all from Lowrance. David Dudley's going to tell us all about that. But we got a whole lot going on, and we got two fantastic guests for you guys tonight. So sit back, relax, grab your drink, because it's time right now to go live on Bass365. That's right, guys. Welcome back to yet another Tuesday night Bass365 livecast, and it's a big one. Happy holidays to everybody out there. We got 10 days left until Christmas. That's it. I hope you guys got your shopping done. I hope you guys are ready. But there's big news going on in the bass industry, and we got some great guests to share it with us. As always, guys, I am Mikey Moser, and with me, of course, is the man, Ricky B.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
Merry Christmas, man. It's almost Christmas. Some parts of the country getting snow. I hate the cold. I know you caught some on a frog today, Mikey. I'm extremely jealous.
Yes, sir.
We do have two awesome guests tonight. The longtime friend Bill Mcdonald and good buddy of mine David Dudley as well. Billy's been playing this game for a long time. I can't wait to hear what he says, what he has to say, and ready to talk some rapid fishing solutions as well.
Yeah, he's got some really cool products that he works with there. Some really innovative stuff. I'm really excited about it. But yeah, like you said, Merry Christmas to everybody. It is officially the holiday season. What about in your household there, Ricky? Are you guys ready?
Well, about as ready as we're going to get, Mikey. It's crazy, but it'll all get done. My wife always panics right up to the last day, but it'll all get done.
Are you one of those last minute shoppers?
Absolutely. I'm a Christmas Eve shopper for sure.
I think it's a guy thing. I literally go Christmas Eve and myself. I run through them all, hit all the stores, but I have it planned. It's definitely planned. I know exactly what store I'm headed to. Don't talk to me. Don't get in my way. It's time to shop, right?
I'm glad you do, because I surely don't.
Oh, that's good. Ricky, I'm excited about tonight's show. We got big guests on here tonight, and we got some really cool things that we're going to be talking about there.
Right. Well, let's go ahead and get I'm trying to get this stuff all posted everywhere right now, Mikey, because I actually forgot to do it. But let's go ahead and get Billy on here, and let's see what he has to say.
That's right, guys. Coming to us here is FLW. I'm sorry, I've got to say it now. MLF Big 5 Pro Circuit angler, Billy Mcdonald. Let's bring him on in.
Billy, what's happening, buddy? How you doing? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. I was doing real good till Mikey said there's 10 days till Christmas, so I'm kind of in panic mode right now. So
you're the same boat we're in, right?
I didn't mean to do it to you, brother. Didn't mean it.
Well, and I'm going to Arkansas fishing tomorrow for a few days. So I guess I got a few less days to shop now.
No doubt, no doubt.
I guess Amazon is still really good at day shipping, though. I think so. You're good. You're good for a few more days at least.
Truck Stop's always got a lot of stuff, so we can see what she likes out of there. So,
guys, but honestly, I give everybody Taco Warehouse gift cards anyway, so that's just the easiest thing. That's all I want.
Heck yeah,
Billy. This year was definitely a challenge. I think that MLF FLW did a great job getting tournaments in, and made sure everybody was safe there. I wanted to first ask you about the 2021 schedule, and is there any event that really jumps out at you and you're like, wow, I could potentially win this one?
You go into every one of them thinking you can win. Okeechobee always is a bright light. I love Florida fishing. Anytime I can go down with a flipping stick in my hand, I'm a happy camper. So, actually it's a pretty good schedule overall. And kind kind of cool to see the championship ending up, back in lacrosse as well. So I like lacrosse so well. I lease some property up here to deer hunt for the next 3 years. So.
Oh, wow. Well, daggone, I was thinking about leasing a place up there as well because it's just beautiful, especially during the summer. You can have it. Maybe we split the lease. I do it during the summer. You do it during the winter.
There you go. All in.
Because I want no parts of that cold.
My wife Amanda is sitting next to me over here. You can kind of see her arm. But we traveled up to Wisconsin and lacrosse and then Sturgeon Bay with all the MLF and FLW stuff last year. And we fell in love with it too. We absolutely said if there's going to be a summer home, if we ever get to that, it's going to be up there for sure. Not to do with winter though. We're done with that.
As soon as we're through deer, as soon as I'm through hunting deer, I'm ready to come down with you, Mikey. I'm ready to get out of here now. So I got about 3 more weeks up here, then I'm headed south.
Awesome. So, Billy, what do you think about the program that Major League Fishing has in place, where you guys could potentially qualify to fish the next Bass Pro Tour tournament? Is that something to get you excited?
Yeah, I mean, they've got a neat format, and I got a taste of it at the championship. It's a whole different format. I thought, well, there can't be that much pressure. It's no big deal. You're just fishing, but it is. There's a whole different, pressure situation there when they're in your ear constantly telling you, hey, you're leading the deal right now. Okay, now you're in 4th. Now you're in 6th. You're falling down the ladder. It just makes your mind work, makes your fishing change. And it's an exciting format. I like the Big 5 format, where you can worry about catching 5 big fish a day. It's just
Right.
2 totally different things. But I think with the combination together, it's really, really exciting.
Yeah. And so how does it work, Billy? I believe it's the top 4 anglers from one of the Big 5 tournaments will fish the next Bass Pro Tour event. Is that how it's working?
Exactly. Well, there's 7 of the BPT tours, and we have 6. So the very first BPT, they're going to take the top 4 in a point standings from last year. We'll fish that. And then from there, each event, they're going to start at the top 4 guys, whichever top 4 want to pay the money, can pay, and then go fish the next BPT. So it's kind of a neat thing. And if you're good enough, you can finish in the top 5. I mean, there's possibly you could fish multiple BPT tournaments this year.
Right.
Absolutely.
And they adjusted their payouts this year from what they were last year, since they're paying some entry fees as well as us. So a guy can go over and make some really good money as well. So it's a neat format.
Absolutely. And I believe, like you said, you fished the Bass Pro Tour style MLF format at the FLW Title Championship this year, so you got a good taste for it. But this year, there's also a lot of the Bass Pro Tour anglers are going to be fishing or are allowed to fish the Big 5 as well out there. So do you have any idea what would happen if, I guess it'd just be the top 4 Big 5 guys as far as points, as standings, then adding the Bass Pro Tour?
I think if what would happen right there per event, they would then go to the next 4 Big 5 guys that would go over instead of the BPT guys, because they got to have an 80-man field in those deals to make it work right. So that's how that will work. And then at the end of the year, it's going to be the top 10 in points, which will be either your 2-year average will trump a single-year average, or your best year in 2021. So whichever one you finish higher in. So just say there's 3 the MLF guys or BPT guys that finish up there, then they'll take 7 of us, and 3 of the guys from BPT will stay out of the bottom 10, is the way I understand it at the present moment.
Right.
Yeah. I think that's it's kind of confusing. You know what we should do is an actual video somewhere on how this all works out, because it is a bit confusing, to be honest, on how it
might change before you can get the video up, Mikey. So that's how it is as of today.
Absolutely. We were just talking earlier that 2020 is just about done, thank God, but we have no idea what 2021 is going to bring, do we? So right now it looks like we got a pretty darn good schedule, but hopefully things don't messed up as much as they did last year anyway.
I surely hope not.
Hopefully starting in Clewiston, Florida, nobody will, have a problem with us coming down there. So hopefully we can at least get the first one off there in February without a hitch.
I'll tell you, honestly, I'm from Florida. I live in Florida here, so I think we're going to be good on that one. That's about as much as far as I can say. I think if you're coming to Florida, you're going to be okay out there. But it's, Bass Elites are coming to Florida for their first event. MLF Big 5's down here, and then I think a month later, Bass Pro Tour is back down here too again. So Florida is definitely going to be okay, I believe. At least that one. Is there? Ricky asked you a little bit already, or the entire schedule. Is there a lake that you just dread that you see on there and like, oh no, not that one? Is that on your schedule this year?
Oh, Lake's back on there again, and the spot lake bass, haven't done me any justice over the years. It's kind of one of those. Maybe I just pay my entry and not show up and save the expenses and come out of there a winner this time. So. But like I said, I've had good practices at Smith. Just derbies have always fell off, so time to turn it around this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Billy, I know the one big thing we wanted to talk about tonight with you and last minute Christmas gifts. We were just talking about that. Rapid Fishing Solutions. You've been with Mickey since the beginning. Why don't you kind of let the folks know what Rapid Solutions is all about? And maybe if you have some products, maybe show them off a little bit.
Sure. Rapid Fishing Solutions. Mickey's come up with just a bunch of, I don't know what I want to say, just a bunch of really quality products that makes your day go better, makes your fishing go better, and longevity of baits, longevity of your line, different things makes it help, Where he started out was with a hook all. And I've got one right here. That's the original one he came out with. And what that is, and I've got one sitting here to the side here. Let me put some disc in it. But I'll just put one disc in there. You can put these discs in, and there's multiple things you can do with it. The easiest one is a spinner bait here. If I'm going to put a trailer hook on, I can take that, center it up on that disc right there, poke it through, pop it out, and it holds that trailer hook on there perfect. And you can do this on multiple different things. You can sandwich a Cinco type bait. If you're wacky rigging it, you can sandwich that bait, make sure it holds tight in the center. You can do that. Drop shot, you can do the same thing, and it keeps that bait from sliding down on it. You can do a swim bait instead of putting super glue and getting it stuck all over your fingers. Slide it up on your jig head and then put that in. And then since then, we came up with a micro edition tool as well. That's a Bill McDonald Signature Series.
Oh, look at that.
Signature Series. And what it is, it's got, if you look side by side there, you can see the difference in the holes on them. So it's just a real smaller disc on it. That's why we call it a micro. Does the same thing as the other tool, but just, just a smaller deal, smaller profile on the disc and the whole deal. It's got line clips, line clips will come in a tube, similar to that right there. And all it is, it's got the same end as what you'd have on a drop shot. So when you cut your bait off, all you got to do is clip that line clip on there. You can roll it up to the end of the rod. Line don't go through. And it's always funny to me. We sit here at night, we tie all of our baits on. Fluorocarbon line's not cheap. So you tie all your baits on the night before the tournament. And, you pull it back. You put it on your reel handle or wherever you got it, your hook keeper. And then the first thing you see everybody do in the morning, they're cutting their line off. So they're throwing about 6 or 7 or 8 foot of that line off to start with, first thing before they've ever made a cast, a brand new line. So why not just put a line keeper on there? It's real simple, and you can color code them. You can write them if you want. These are 10 pound, 20 pound, 15 pound. You can color code it so you know what's going on there. Those are a couple of things. We got line guides. To run your line through your line or through your rods. How many times have you got it almost to the top? You drop it and it goes all the way to the bottom. You start all over again. And I'm not as young as I used to be by no means. So as I do that, like I said, it's harder to see those guys. This helps out a bunch. Something brand new Mickey's come out with. It's called a drop shot keeper. You know, as everybody ties a drop shot on, you got a place to hook your hook, but you don't have a place to put your weight on there. So this little deal here, you can see from the end there, just clips over your rod. So you can put your line in there, put your drop shot weight, clip it on there. You know where it's at all the time. So those are a few things that he's got out, and he's got some really, really cool things we're getting ready to bust wide open here with. So
yeah, I know he's been working
and like
on.
I said, rapid fishing. So yeah, Rapid Fishing Solutions, and he's got some Christmas specials right now. Go to his website, rapidfishingsolutions.com, and he's got some Christmas things he's trying to get shipped out, so you can still get them on time. So go check them out.
The new products he has coming out are pretty impressive. I know I've seen some of them already, and pretty excited about it and what it's going to bring. I think Mickey's always been one that it just wants to make fishing easier for everybody. You know, the line guy, when I first saw it, I didn't think a whole lot of it. Like you said, now I'm getting a little bit older. It's hard to see those guides, especially if you're using a micro guide, a rod with micro guides on it. And we've all done it. You get all the way to the top, like you said, drop it, and it all the way right through those guides. So,
well, something too with that micro guide, something that's really cool, guys. A lot of people don't even think about is you can use it to thread a line through the hook as well. So like I said, it's got multiple uses on it. So.
Oh, very nice. There's some pretty innovative products that he's got over there at Rapid Fishing Solutions. I really have not. I've seen that that first one that you showed there. I've seen that before several times. But those other ones are like they're common sense ingenuity. I like that. Really, really cool products that, you know what? I don't know why someone didn't come up with those 25 years ago, but I'm glad they have them now.
Oh yeah, the line keeper deal. A lot of co-anglers fly into places, or a lot of guys travel. You know, I'm sure Mikey, you got guys come down here to Florida, and they fly in and out. You know, they'll put all the rods in a bundle, and then they throw all the reels, you know, in a bag and bring with them. Well, you can clip that on there, and then they're not digging that line out when they get down there trying to find it. You know, you can flip it right on there, reel it right up to the reel seat, and you're good to go.
Yeah, that is really cool. Or even just, you know, stowing them in your boat or whatever. I mean, I always try to do that, twist the line around to make sure it's nice and tight so it doesn't hook onto another rod or another hook somewhere else or whatever like that. Having that, it should be tangle free basically like that. I like that. That's really cool. And I'm definitely gonna have to sell some of
Oh,
those.
heck yeah. And like I said, take a Sharpie if you want, or you can color code it, whatever you need to do there. And you can put what size line you got on there. Because like I said, once you cut your bait off, you know, a lot of times, well, was that 10 or was it 12? You know, was it 15 or was it 17? That way you got that on there, you know exactly what line you got on there, and you're good to go.
10 rod sitting on your deck there, and you're using the same reels essentially. They all look the same. It'd be cool to see that the color coded on what kind of. That's very, very cool. Very innovative, I guess. I like that kind of stuff. I like products like that. Ricky, I know you're good friends with them over at Rapid Fishing Solution. We need to make some videos on some of this stuff. I think
absolutely. There should be a bunch on our YouTube page already, but we need to kind of refresh them and you know, come up with some new stuff for sure. And we'll be around Billy all this year. We'll be able to put him to work, make him earn his keep a little bit.
There you go. Yeah.
Heck yeah. Glad to do it.
Excited for this next season, Billy, and be able to work a little closer with you and getting to see some of those. I know you've been around on tour for, I think it's 11 years now. Is that what I read?
Yeah, I fished my first tournament. I fished I fished red band tournaments for a long time, and then we started the BFLs, and then I entered my first ever started event. I thought, well, 1999. I thought, well, I'm going to go down and just see how I size up with the guys. And after the first day, I think I was like 127th or something like that. And I was like, this ain't too good. My brother, being a supportive guy he told me, so when we get back to the room tonight, I hope you pack all your crap up. So tomorrow when you weigh in, you can be ready to go home. And ended up, I told him, I said, dude, I'm going to catch him. I got him figured out. He goes, well, it looks like it. So come back in the next day, and I finished 27. I got it moved all the way to 27th the next day. End up winning that event overall. So that one kind of hurt me because I thought, well, they're all going to be easy like this. And then reality set in. So
yeah. there's definitely a grind out there. Nothing's easy when it comes to professional fishing. That's for sure out there.
No.
Now you're fishing the MLF Big Fly Pro Circuit. Do you ever do any of the Toyota series or anything like that as well?
Oh yeah, I'm going to fish a division. Try to fish a whole division of the Toyota series. This year they got the wild card deal too, so you don't have to fish a complete division. You know, you can fish as long as you fish as many as 4, and they can be from all one division plus one, or just 4 different divisions. And you take your best 3 events, and they're going to take the top 12 out of the guys that turn in their best 3 events. So I'm going to fish at least one division or enough to do that. And then who knows, you know, I might go out and venture out and fish a few other things as well.
Oh, that's great. So it's going to be a busy season for you no matter what.
No doubt. I usually spend about 220 days a year on the road anyway. This year was a little bit different with the restrictions. So some of the shows have already been canceled. Some of them's not. So we got a busy schedule already starting out. So
I know. I just heard today that the Richmond show was canceled a couple weeks ago. Then the Raleigh show was canceled today. I don't know. Do you think there'll be any consumer shows this year anywhere?
Well, I got a call today about being at what is the Susquehanna show?
Yeah,
January 8th and 9th.
What are the dates?
As of today, 8th and 9th of January was what they told me today. Said, put it on your calendar. You got to be there. And I said, okay, I'll be there.
I'm writing that down because I may just show up there. George and them are good guys up there at Susquehanna for sure.
Good deal. Good deal. So I've never been there, so looking forward to it. So.
Oh, it's a killer store. I mean, it really is. Yeah, you'll be impressed. They got all the
good deal.
Billy, let's talk about some of your other sponsors. Anything changed this year? I know you've got some long time stuff. Why don't you just kind of talk a little bit on that?
Well, long time stuff. I ended the relationship. I've been at Ranger for actually right at 29 years, I think it was. So excited this year I'll be running a Bass Cat. So made that change. Been down and met with Rick Pierce and the guys. I've got my boat. I've had it since I guess it was 1st of September when I got my boat. So be running a Bass Cat with a Mercury this year. So really, really excited about that. Be good to be able to pass some people for a change if I want to. So that's exciting. And then everybody else is kind of status quo, starting another year up with Lucas. Extremely blessed to be with them. Strike King and Lou. Strike King I've been with since 2002, I believe it is. So, I like the longevity. That's my deal. So,
absolutely, I agree. Go ahead,
so
Mike.
I got a couple new deals. You'll see a press release come out probably here in the next week or two. So we do got a brand new deal that we're going to come out with. I'm kind of excited about. So, everything else is pretty good. I'm just ready to go. Like I said, I'm going to run to Arkansas tomorrow. I'm going to go over and play around a little bit and use these Garmin electronics. We're going to go over and tweak some of them over on Beaver Lake. It's Jing clear. And be able to look at some things and be able to make sure I got everything dialed in just like I need before I leave home. So I like to be prepared.
That's one thing that I wanted to talk about real quickly. Obviously, Lowrance has come out with their new active target, which is essentially, very similar to what your LiveScope has been. How big of has LiveScope been for you since that came out?
If you're not running it, you're getting beat by somebody that is. I mean, it's that big of a deal.
Yeah, especially I know you did a lot on the Great Lakes, the smallmouth lakes out there on Sandusky in Ohio, and then again at the FLW Title Championship up in Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin. Big water, those smallmouths. If you didn't have that LiveScope, would you have done as well as you did, you think?
No. Sturgeon Bay, I pulled up, and you don't have to start till 8 o'clock. So I pulled up and I had like 9 minutes to kill. And before the first cast in on my day, the first day. And so I'm trolling, trying to get set up where I want to get. And I pan around, look in front of me, and there's a wad of them like directly in front of me. I just hit spot lock right there. And I told my guy, I said, I'm ready. So I got my spinning reels ready. He counted me down, 3, 2, 1. First cast, bait goes out there, hits out of my pickup, it's pulling down. Set a hook on the first cast. I had the first scoreable fish on my day. So I catch it, put in. Second cast, I caught a short fish. Third cast, I didn't catch one. And the fourth, fifth, and sixth cast, I caught fish. And I seen every one of them as I cast out there.
That's
so. I mean, it's key on the Great Lakes without a doubt. But actually, I think it was more important. Texas, I finished 11th at Sam Rayburn. Left there and went to Harris Chain, and I think I finished 21st or something like that at Harris Chain. But it was probably more important to me, or every bit as important, at Rayburn and in Florida on that shallow grass I was fishing. To me, that's more important there on that structure as much as it is out there trying to actually see those fish.
Right. That's impressive. I know I've only heard good things about it, and we'll see what competition does to it. You know, it usually makes things better. I don't know how it can get better, but I'm sure Garmin has something.
I think it's great because, instead of being complacent, it's, ours is really, really, really good. And I'm sure our competitors have finally got theirs where theirs is really good too. So it's going to make us go back to drawing board and make it better. So, I mean, competition is good in this industry all the way around. But the thing that people talk about, everybody wants to talk about seeing the fish. Seeing the fish is really key. But seeing that structure, just like Mike, you're down there in Florida. How many times have you gone along and you look down and like, man, look at that clump of grass as you're going over it? Think about seeing a clump of grass 40, 50 feet out in front of you and fishing it before you run over it, run your trolling motor through it.
Right.
Absolutely. I think one of the things that I heard from a lot of guys running it too, it wasn't just seeing the fish or just seeing the structure. It was being able to see your bait and how the fish are reacting to it as well. That is, to me, is probably the most impressive thing I've heard about it. Unfortunately, I don't have it, so I've not been able to use it myself, but seeing how it reacts to your jerk bait, or see how you can fine tune things with it. I believe.
First year I had it, we went to Lake of the Ozarks and did a pro-am over there in November. And it was funny because those big gizzard shads, the balls of them were in the guts of those pockets, 25 foot of water or so. And I could pan out there and I could see those big balls of gizzards. And I'm throwing a big 3/4 ounce spinnerbait and just slow rolling it. And you could watch that spinnerbait as you're rolling it. You could see the blades turn on that spinnerbait. And you'd come through them gizzards, and all of a sudden you'd see a fish just come off the bottom and just smash your bait. And it was it was cool. But you spend so much daggone time watching the scope. Sometimes you spend too much time watching the scope and not doing what you should do, which is making a change.
Right. I can see that being a problem for sure, especially somebody that's ADD as I am. I could absolutely see that being a problem.
Yeah.
The one thing I wanted to ask you too, Billy, is trolling motors this year. You ran the Garmin trolling motor.
Correct.
Why in the world did it take so long to get some competition in that trolling motor market? And what did you think about the Garmin trolling motor?
I think it took some time because everybody wanted to make it right. There was, you had the two competitors. You had Motor Guide and Minn Kota going back and forwards. And then once Minn Kota hit the Ultrex, I mean, there was a 98% margin that they owned a market.
Right. And
then Garmin worked on theirs for a long, long time to make it right. And they did make it right without a doubt. I mean, it's got, a third or less battery draw than a third even, by no brushless motor on there. And it's so daggone quiet. Like I said, that Lake of the Ozarks tournament, that was my first one that I had the Garmin on there. And the first morning I got an amateur in the back of the boat. I'm fishing. And I kept leaning over the front of the boat. And we have a big party the night before where these amateurs, pick you and pay and all that to get you. And my amateur goes, dude, are you getting sick? And I go, no. And I go, why? And he goes, well, you keep leaning over the front of the boat. He said, looks like you're going to throw up. I go, I'm trying to see if his blades turn on the trolling motor. I can't hear it. I can't feel it. I mean, it was that quiet. And, the cool thing on the Garmin trolling motor is we don't have a 24 volt and a 36 volt. We have one trolling motor.
Right.
So if you only have a 24 volt system, the computer in it automatically changes and it runs it. And their 24 volt is as strong as the 112 Ultrex. And then if you got 3 12-volt batteries and you're fishing during the day and you lose a battery for whatever reason, you drop a cell, the trolling motor automatically compensates and switches down to a 12-volt. So keeps you going and you're not out of commission. So
I know we've had a lot of guys that have switched from 36 volts to 24 volts just to get rid of the weight because the power stays the same, which is impressive. I mean, very impressive.
See, I changed that. I just went to lithium quite a few years ago, so I got rid of the weight there to start with. So.
Right, the lithium still scare me. I'm not gonna lie to you; they're a little scary, a little bit scary. Well, Mikey, I'm gonna let you finish this up with Billy. I'm gonna go try to find David. I don't know where he's at, but Billy, thank you for being on, man. Whenever you want to get back on here, just give me a shout, and we'll be more than happy to get you back on.
Dude, I appreciate you guys having me. You might have gone in the woods. David might be coon hunting tonight. You never know about that guy.
Oh, Lord. Send us a video.
Yeah. Everything. We got a question that's coming to you here. This comes from Sean Boyle, and he wanted to ask you, is the 8-inch Texas rig bullworm still a player for you?
Oh, definitely. Most definitely. You know, the bullworm in that grass is phenomenal. And like I said, I've used it at Kentucky Lake on those ledges just as much, you know, you won't see me without a bullworm tied on.
Right on. Well, what we're going to do, Billy, we didn't get too many more questions here, so I'll just pull that one off of the screen or whatnot. But I really want to thank you again for coming out here, and I'm looking forward to next year, this upcoming season here, being able to see you and work with you a little bit more there. We're going to help you out here with Bass365 a little for your social media work, I believe.
Well, yep, I appreciate that, Mike. And looking forward to working with you guys. And like I said, I'm going to spend most of January and February down there in Florida. So let's hook up while I'm down there. We'll have a good time one way or another.
100%. You know, I'll definitely be down there. I live just outside of Palatka, in essence, and I'm surrounded by some amazing little lakes. Actually, I got out there this morning for a little while, and they were smashing frogs all day long in December. I gotta love it.
You're killing me.
I had to make you a little jealous, you know. And you know, there are some perks to living down here for a little bit. It was amazing. We got another cold front coming through tomorrow, so I think they were super shallow, buried up deep in the thickest of cover they can. Took me about 2 hours to figure out where they were, at least. But I didn't get a giant today, but I got a couple nice ones. So anytime you throw frogs in December, I'm a happy boy. Yeah,
I was throwing a blade bait in 38-degree water last Thursday here at home, and that's not near as fun as throwing a frog, I promise.
You just made my stomach upset. I don't even want to hear it. I'm in Canada. I left the cold weather a long time ago. The only ice I want to see anymore is in my drinks, and that's it.
Yeah. If I didn't have grandkids here, I'd be down there with you. So that's my biggest drawback.
That's right. That's definitely. February, you're down here. You're going to be fishing Okeechobee. That should be an excellent tournament that time of year. I mean, it can go one or two ways. It's Florida. We all know how that goes. It can be a grind for sure, or it can just be absolute fire. And I have a feeling February on Okeechobee, it's going to be fire this year. I think it's going to be a fun tournament.
Most of those fronts should float out of there in January. Hopefully February's stable. We'll be able to get down there and have some fun without a doubt.
Okeechobee's far enough south that it doesn't get that temperamental. You know, I'm up in this north central Florida. It changes quite a bit up here, but 5 hours south, that's usually pretty good. That's it. Well, Billy, I think Ricky's still trying to figure out how to get a hold of Dudley there. I know you said he's probably out raccoon hunting or something like that. You never know what he's doing out there. But
there's a good chance of that one.
Definitely. I appreciate everything you were talking about Garmin there. I know, everybody's all excited about the new Lowrance product, and I agree with you 100%. Competition is really good to have. It just helps you, it inspires you to want to do better, no matter. So hopefully Garmin will, I don't like Rick said, I don't know how they can make it better, but if they do, I think it's going to be a really good thing having a little competition. And if nothing else, I think it's going to help even that playing field out a little bit. Because like you said, you weren't running it and you were competing against somebody that was, you're probably going to lose. So hopefully
That's
that
right.
even field out and gives you a little more competition this year altogether.
It'll be good. Like I said, it's going to be good for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Billy, we appreciate it very much. You enjoy yourself the rest of your time up in the cold weather there. I look forward to seeing you down in a couple, I guess in less than 2 months now. Somewhere, yeah, about 2 months. Somewhere around there. I look forward to seeing you in a little warmer times. I hope you and your family have happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you guys. Ricky, you got anything else for Billy before we let him go?
I don't, Billy. Just have a Merry Christmas, man, and we look forward to talking to you. I tell you, though, before you leave, I don't know if you got him to do it yet or not, Mikey. Where can people find more Billy McDonald?
You can find me, like I said, on Bill McDonald Pro Fishing as far as the Facebook side, BMAC Fishing on YouTube and Instagram.
Gotcha. And where can they get the great Rapid Fishing Solutions products?
RapidFishingSolutions.com. Give Mick a shout and he'll get you taken care of without a doubt.
Absolutely. Merry Christmas, Billy. We'll talk to you soon, brother.
Thanks, guys. Merry Christmas. You guys have a great one.
All right,
see you, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, Mikey, while we're waiting on David, because I forgot to send him the join link, hopefully he'll be here shortly, and I'm sure I'm going to hear about it when he does get here.
We're good.
But let's talk about frog fishing in Florida right now.
Yeah, dude, like I said, anytime I can catch fish on frogs in December, I'm a happy boy. But it surprised me, honestly. I've asked this question to a lot of people throughout social media before. What is the one thing you always have tied on no matter what when you hit the water? For me, my answer has always been a frog. I always have one tied on. I did not expect to be throwing it today. I really didn't. But like I said, we had really cold weather for the past week and a half, almost 2 weeks here. We were getting down into the upper 30s, low 40s at night, only getting up to maybe mid 50s during the day. Kind of warmed up the last 2 days, got about 70 degrees. So I really didn't know. I think the water temperatures were about 62.
Right.
I really didn't know what to expect, but I know there's another front coming through again tomorrow. So all I can remember is from these live casts and talking to these pros, winter fishing, we talked about it a lot, and a lot of these guys said, go to the heavy cover. Find the thickest, greenest grass you can find that's going to hold some warmth. I checked everywhere else. I couldn't find them. Nothing was working, so I went shallow in the cover, and I had a frog tied on, so I threw it, and, it wasn't my second cast, and they were smoking it. Coming out of the water, landing on it. Hopefully I got it all on my camera. I usually have it running. So
I would say too, we need that. We need that wintertime video. That'll warm everybody up.
Absolute donkey today. Dude, I have not seen a fish that big. I catch some pretty big fish down here. This fish easily 11 pounds, but it was probably bigger than that. And of course, it came right out of the water. I saw the whole fish. I saw its length. I saw its girth. It cleared the water and landed on top of my frog, but it didn't get it. Never got it in its mouth. I never could get it to come back again, no matter what I threw. But man, I didn't get a giant today. I got a bunch in that 3 to 4 pound range. So I can't argue. That was a good day.
Right. I'm gonna hop off here one more time, and here's David right now.
Yep.
There he is. All right, let's go ahead and bring him on because we're going to have fun with this one.
All right, guys. So here we go for the Bass365 Livecast doubleheader. Our next guest is just joining us right now. He's sitting in the green room. We're talking a 4-time Angler of the Year for FLW, the number 2 all-time money winner in bass fishing history. Mr. David Dudley is in the house. Everybody say hello to David Dudley.
What's up, David?
I am in the show. What's going on? I'm in the show.
I forgot.
I could be coon hunting right now. Could be coon hunting, but I'm joining Bass365 for a discussion.
That's right. That's where Billy said he was going when he got off here.
Oh Lordy, I need to jump in the truck with him.
So what's going on, man? Are you ready for Christmas?
No, I'm halfway a Scrooge when it comes to Christmas. I'll get my Christmas shopping in last minute, and I might actually do it earlier this year, maybe just because I'm bored to death. But just I'm kind of a Scrooge when it comes to Christmas.
That doesn't surprise me.
Y'all didn't know what to say to that, did you? Y'all were thinking I was going to say something else.
Yeah. So let's get right to the meat of this thing. Let's talk. Let's talk some live target or live. Not live target. Active target. Right. You've had a chance to use it, and what do you think?
Dude, it's incredible. It's incredible, and I got a lot of experience with other forward-looking imaging, and so I do have a lot to compare it to. I have experienced other things, so what I've seen with active target. It's kind of that cliche thing you hear, like, oh, it's a game changer. Is it? No, it truly is. Like, it raised the bar to any forward-looking imaging thing that there is out there. And I actually did a video, and I think you guys posted it also on your social platforms. But I got a chance and got one of the early transducers, so I got one in the hand. And when I went out there, some of the things I could tell you is just a clarity, and it's like crystal clear. There's when you're talking about comparison of other forward-looking transducers, Lowrance is it's no doubt like what you're looking at and the distance that you can look at. Both forward-looking imaging is going to be, there's going to be limitations to certain things, but as far as the active target, watching everything actively moving in clarity is just it was unbelievable. I got out. I'll tell you how crazy it was. I got out on one spot, and it's in Smith Mountain Lake, and it's got standing timber out everywhere. And I was just looking around, forward looking around, and I saw some stripers 70, almost 80 feet away. And I'm sitting out in the middle of the ocean, and I just cast ocean, but I'm talking in the middle of the lake. And I simply, I was able to target them 80 feet away, but with crystal clear clarity. That's what, there's a difference in looking at something and going, maybe that's some fish over there. Or with active target, you look over there and you're like, holy cow, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them swimming right there. And the clarity is just, it's crazy. And the great thing about it is you got forward, and the down is just as clean as forward. And then you have scout position, which broadens like just massive amount of area with scout position. And they got settings on the transducer where you can easily go from down to forward to scout, depending on what terrain you're in. But just what what they've done is they have nailed it.
David, talk a little bit about the difference between the scout and the forward imaging. What's the difference in the two there?
Just you're broadening with scout. You're just broadening your view. Okay,
opening the cone up.
Yeah, it's a broadening. You're actually take your transducer and you're going to turn it sideways. It sits sideways, and it's just a setting that is just, it broadens your horizon. Forward is more, like the cone is more isolated, so you can really pinpoint. With Scout, it's a broader spectrum, which I think is going to, I think it's going to, and I don't know, but I think it's going to be a phenomenal key when it comes to smallmouth and spotted bass fisheries in the Scout mode. I don't know yet. Of course, I haven't been to a smallmouth fishery with it, but I'm anxious to see, how good it's going to be and how quick you can cover water with that Scout mode. And I'm excited about it because they're open water fish, and if I have to take my head constantly, panning it around, and smallmouth are aggressive fish anyway. So you don't have to pinpoint exactly every single cast, within feet. You can get it close to a smallmouth. And now largemouth and even spotted bass can get a little bit more pickier, but the great thing about smallmouth fisheries, you're typically in crystal clear water. So if you get within 10 feet of them and they see it, they're sight feeders. They're typically going to go at it. So the down, it goes from, seeing just counting every single fish and down, it's got such a good spectrum on the down, but here's one thing I want to explain to people. And I did a video and people were commenting that they were like, I was calling them dots or blobs. There's certain things that have to allow the unit to draw it out like a fish. Okay. When I say a fish, that means you can actually see the broad side of the fish, the tail. You can actually see the tail moving a little bit. But what people don't understand is that most of the time, the majority of the time, your fish are nothing but dots and blobs. And what I'm trying to get people to understand, they see these videos of these beautiful looking fish swimming. So I'll give you an example. The stars have to line up in order for it to show the fish like people want it to. Right. So if the fish, and here's my hand, I can see it in the camera. If the fish is swimming straight away from me, the cone is not hitting the side of the fish. It's only hitting the back end. So it only draws a blob, right? But when the fish is sideways, like this, and it echoes off of his scales, and it could be a carp who has giant big scales. It's a big fish. It's throwing an echo off of it, and he's sitting still, and he's not moving, and he's not traveling through the cone at 35 miles an hour, then yes, you're still going to get the blob. But here's where the stars have to line up. If the fish is sitting relatively still, barely moving, and it's allowing the echo to come off of that fish, yes, it'll draw it out as a fish. But the majority of the time, if that fish is sitting at, let me get my hand back in the screen. If that fish is sitting at a slight angle like this, the echo is not going to draw the fish out like this. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And people have this, that the thought, if you go and watch my video, you'll see what I'm talking about. Some of the fish came across the screen looking like a fish, and then some of them were just dots and blobs because they wasn't angled right. And just people, whatever, But
that makes a lot of sense when you think about it. And maybe people are just so conditioned to the old school. Remember those old school where they actually put a little image of a fish on there instead of a dot?
Well, here's one thing that people are getting hung up on. Of course, if you're going to do a promotional video, right, you're going to get that sideways image to show the fish sideways, you know, to draw out the fish in a promotional video.
Yeah, of course.
I'm just talking real time. That real time, most of the time, it's not drawing out the fish. But the difference is that with active target, it was so, I don't know if they got their ping speed set perfect, but it is real time. Like if he moved 3 foot, I saw him move 3 foot on active imaging. If he turned sideways, you could see the blob go from a blob, you know, you could see it. Let me get my hands right. You could see it go from a blob like that, a dot, to when he turned, daggone it, y'all get the point. When he turned, then you would see the fish, right? So,
Right.
but people are looking at these promotional videos and saying, that don't look like a fish. Ho, 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 ho. And it's the same thing with 2D. Guys, it's all about the cone. It's the cone. It's the echo. I could take a drop shot weight in 2D and drop it down, and it looks like the biggest fish that is there. Why? Because the center of the cone is hitting the drop shot weight at the perfect angle, which throws the echo back up. It's not because you saw a big fat spaghetti noodle. That's not an indication of a big fish. That doesn't mean nothing. I take my little drop shot robo worm or a Ned rig that's 3 inches long, looks like a fat, you know, whatever, night crawler, and it draws it out like it's a big fish. It's only 3-inch long minnow, you know? And it's all about the cone and how it hits the target that you're facing. But the difference is if whatever unit you're using, Lowrance has nailed it to where it's instantaneously back at you and you're seeing the movements, whether it's a blob or a true fish. The clarity and active target is what amazed me. And I got enough time looking at other units to know, wow, okay, this is a world of difference.
Yeah, a term we've heard a lot out there is it's perfect. And I mean that's a strong word to put on something. Perfect is pretty cool. From what I've seen, that's pretty accurate out there. What you just said about you don't see a fish going away from you or going sideways or coming towards you or whatnot, you can't see that on a traditional sonar or anything like that. That is really cool, and I never actually put that in perspective myself. That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah,
David,
and
is there ever a time where you think the electronics could hurt you?
yeah, absolutely. I think with forward imaging, you have to learn when to use it and when not to use it. Okay, so there can be times when I think it can hurt you. As far as looking ahead, looking for targets, or maybe seeing a tree that you didn't know coming up, that's always going to be there. But I think there's times when you got to learn how to just fish your lure down the bank. And once you key in on where the fish are sitting at and what they're doing, I don't think forward is going to be that big of a player, but without a doubt, smallmouth fisheries, spotted bass, even largemouth fisheries, certain things like that, it is going to help you, but you got to learn how to manage your time utilizing the forward-looking imaging. And it's not a cure-all, okay? We watched that, what's that dude who Bassmaster guy won that Lake Fork tournament. What's that guy that won Bassmasters? Wrecked him. Matt something?
Oh, Patrick Walters?
Patrick Walters. He won it like with a landslide, right? That, you know, that's what is like in that situation. It was, you know, it was dominant. Like suspended fish, looking around a bunch of trees like a jungle. There's certain times when it's just going to just dominate. But like I said, there's going to be times, like, for example, I'll give you an example. Smith Mountain Lake here in Virginia is my home lake, right? 1 million carp in it, okay? 1 million carp. Carp are everywhere in that lake. And so you can be panning around and look at a carp just kind of cruising down the bank, and you're going to waste 10 minutes throwing at a carp and not knowing that it's a carp, but you're going to assume that you got a chance to catch that carp, and you're not going to catch it. So you're wasting your time instead of throwing a wiggle wart down the bank and, ripping them. So
just covering water.
Right, covering water. You got to know when it is valuable and when it's not valuable.
Now, this is a good one from Bryson Whitlow. Do you see topwater baits when you're using active target?
Yeah, you can take a buzz bait. You can take a buzz bait and watch it come all the way across the water. It's amazing. It's amazing.
I didn't know. I didn't know to do that. That's really cool out there. And of course, you can see the reaction to the fish, because that's something that I think all of us anglers have always wondered. Did anything even look at it, or was there just no fish there? I think that's really cool that you can see who was there and how they're reacting to your bait altogether.
Yeah, I in that video that I did, I actually threw back on a couple fish that like you said, I never would have made that cast back again. Like, it's like you're covering water to your whatever, you're spacing them out every 10 feet or something, your cast, right? 10 foot, you're going 10 foot ahead, 10 foot ahead, 10 foot ahead. But I scrolled over there with active target, and I was like, dang, there's 2 of them. So I did another cast where I just came from and ended up catching a few fish. I never would have caught them. You understand what I'm saying? I never would have caught them. Like, I never would have known to throw back. Just because I looked over there and saw him, I was able to say, hey, I threw back and then ended up catching a few fish. It's amazing. Like, just the clarity of it is just
a game changer right there. I mean, we don't know. I'm sure it happens. It happens to me. It happens to everybody out there. There's just no fish here. But now you know if there really was no fish there, or if they're just not interested in what you're throwing at. That is
right. You're definitely going to know. I think it's still. I don't know, but there's still going to be times when that fish is sucked dead on the bottom, right? There's times when he's going to be so close to that bottom that you're not going to see, and still the act of fishing is going to still take majority role in catching the fish. You can't just solely rely on that, and a lot of your giant fish, they're just loners anyways. They're little they're out just by themselves. Typically they're by themselves. They're not around other fish. They're just loners. And, you can use it to your ability in that way also.
So, David, I think you've done a great job explaining the forward seeing sonar. And I think that if it's in your budget, you probably should get it. I know it. I'm going to have one. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about your Proficiency rods. And, when I saw these rods for the first time this year, I was like, these are really the rods that you're using and selling for what they sell for like $100, right?
$78 at Walmart. And they're actually in 2,400 Walmarts. So if you go to proficiency.com, you can find a store locator. But if it's a top fishing store, it'll probably be in your Walmart close to your house. If you live in a big fishing community, some of the Walmarts they didn't put them in are like, in the middle of a city somewhere, but if your Walmart is pretty much in a fishing community, Yep, you can go there and check them out, look at them, put them in your hand. $78, and
I
I'm
guess
proud of them. It took me 2 years to develop that rod, and so I'm super jacked that I'm able to get a high quality rod in Walmart at a great price. So,
I mean, I guess that's my point. I've heard it said before that, well, yeah, that's not the same rod that KVD's using that you buy at Walmart. These are your rods. I mean, the same
yeah,
rods that you fish day in, day out with, no question about it.
yep. I mean, I say last year, but it didn't last. When the last day, like this has been 2 years in developing, and the first year I developed, I won Angler of the Year on this exact rod. Like I took a $359 rod that I kind of liked, and why it was $359, I don't know. But I took a $359 rod that I liked, and I said, copy this one, and we got it for $78. And it's but I had to do a little bit of tweaking to really get it to where I was at. My boss was like, he got a little irritated with me because how picky I was. But basically, I know everybody has. Okay, I got a black and yellow square bill rod, and I got a chartreuse shad square bill rod, and I got all these people that talk all this rod specific stuff. I'm a 3-rod man. Like my spinning rod is my baby, and they got it at Walmart. My 7'2" medium heavy is my baby, and I throw that thing with everything from, bladed baits to top waters to jerk baits to spinner baits to everything under the sun. And then I got a 7'6" heavy that is my flipping stick. I can use it for big worms, football jigs, everything. And it's like my 3 rods I pretty much have on the deck for everything that I do. I'm not into this medium fast extra tip 13 power to the 5th power to the this. No, pretty much I got everything built into 3 rods, and it's all you're going to need. And that's what I conquer the world in. I've been that way my whole career. I'm a 3-rod man. I use 3 rods for everything. So
that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's very impressive. Nobody can argue with the results that you've come up with. So is that it? There's 3 rods in the lineup for Proficiency, or is there more?
No, we got a couple others, which we got a 6'7" and we got a 7-foot medium, and I built those for the people who have to have that, right? So who have to have a smaller rod and they have to have a medium, which if that's their confidence, I built 2 more for them, but my system that I do is a 3-rod system. I use it for everything.
That's great. Well, like you said, nobody can argue with the results that you've come up with over the years with that system. So, hey, I'm guilty. I have a bunch of different rods that I think is for this and I think is for that, but I probably really use 2 or 3 of them on a regular basis too. So it's a confidence thing. I think you hit that on the head right there, though.
And so while we're talking confidence, and let's just touch on line for a minute, David. I think you got a lot of confidence in your line as well.
Yeah, I've been with Gamma for probably 7 or 8 years now, and they came from tennis racket world, so they know how to build strength. And I know what goes on behind the scenes, and I know what people throw, and I know what they're promoted by, and I can just tell you and assure you that Gamma is on the majority of professional in this professional fishing world. It is a super strong line, and I'm proud to be using it, and couldn't be more pleased with it.
That's definitely. Would you say you do a fair mix, like a 50-50 mix of braid versus fluoro, or are you a fluoro guy? Or
yeah, with my spinning rods, pretty much on unless I'm throwing like a Ned rig everything, all my spinning rods are rigged with 15-pound braid. And then if I'm throwing a Ned rig or that fly, something really, really light, then I use 10-pound braid. And I've used 6-pound braid before, but I'll go to the 10-pound braid just because I can cast further and, you know, the whole spectrum of that. But I have become, I didn't used to be, but I've become a braid man more in my last few years than I have in the past. So braid has become a bigger part of my rod setups than it has in the past, for sure.
That's good. And Gamma makes some great braid as well, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Torque. I think it's the Gamma Torque is what they call it.
Torque. Yep, you got it.
That's
So,
right.
David, while you're talking about spinning rods and Ned rigs, I would love to hear your theory on what a Ned rig is.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I did a video on this. So it's just an opinion, right? It's just a theory. So I'll give you the quick theory of what a Ned rig is, in my opinion, is that it is nothing but a duck or a goose poo-poo turd. And I actually went down to the lake and got some goose and duck turds. And they even have where the goose pinched it off and it's got the little tail. It's got the right size, right turd. And here's what I'm telling you. Most bass fishermen, it's like a sin to eat a bass, right? It's an ultimate sin. So we don't fillet enough bass to actually confirm or disconfirm it. So it's only opinion. But I really think that when there's a time of year when the geese, they're all feeding on high protein, whether it's night crawlers, they got to get their eggshells hard for hatching them out. So I really think that is like a protein bar, just falling down, and they come up and they're like, and they eat it, and it actually tastes like good to them. So if somebody else can come up with a different opinion, I'm open. But for right now, you can't convince me otherwise that it's not they've learned to start eating those turds when they start falling down, and they like it, and it's delicious. So
I gotta be
honest,
I was expecting you to just say it resembled a turd, not that you actually think it represents a turd. That is pretty turn off. So, and from now on, I 100% guarantee, every time I throw a Ned rig, I'm going to think about it.
Every time. That's right.
You're going to think about goose poo-poo and duck poo-poo. You're going to be like, dang on it, Dudley. I'm threading on a piece of poo-poo.
Yeah. Oh, look at this one. This one off.
Dudley, there's a question here from Oakster-Bassin. And I know it's not, but the question is that the same 3 rods that you used when you won the Cup on the James River? That was, God, how long ago?
Yeah, that was 26 years ago. So, no, it was not the same 3 rods. But I still use the same 3-rod theory. It's just I've actually had a chance to actually develop the 3 rods that I like, the actions. I did a video where you can go and watch, and I show you the bend. I show you the stats on all the rods. So it's a pretty cool deal.
Well, daggone, man. I really appreciate you being on here. We probably kept you a little bit longer than we needed to tonight, but we'll have you back on whenever you want to be on. You just let me know. We can have you on, because you never know what you're going to get, and it's always great content.
I honestly, after this, I want to know what your honest opinion on a wacky rig and what that's supposed to come.
All right, we're going to be here for a while.
Man, we can save that one for another show, because I could talk forever on that one. Yeah.
So here's the question: who's a better wacky rigger, you or Porosnik?
Oh, now I will tell you this: it will be a tight race. It will be tight. I would be dumb to say, I'm going to smoke Porosnik, but I will beat him. I will beat him in the the challenge of me or Prosnick. He's good, but I think I'm going to edge him out every single time. And plus,
How
I
about if
can
we
get in
threw
his
Cody
head.
Meyer in that mix? Where would he end up?
Oh, he's a California kid, man. All he knows is a drop shot. So him in a wacky rig, he everyone he catches is like down, is almost pooped it out because he can't even feel them or don't even know.
Oh,
So yeah,
mercy. We're gonna have to have a show here coming up.
This entire show is taking a whole turn, a whole new subject on it.
It has. I knew it was going to, though. So, Dudley, next year, what are your plans?
BPT, Fishing the Bass Pro Tour, and that's it.
No Big Five?
Yep. No.
Is there an event on the schedule that you're like super stoked about?
Pretty much every one of them, really. I mean, it's a good schedule, you know.
Right.
I think everyone's going to be a good one to, you know. I don't have one that stands out. Yeah, I reckon I don't have one that like I'm that jacked about. It's a good schedule going to all of them. Probably the one that I don't like is the Chickamauga tournament. You know,
right.
It's just we're going later in the year. They get ganged up and blah blah blah. But it won't be as bad because I think it's going to be, you know, it won't be as crowded with, you know, say like 175, 200 boats plus locals. So I don't think it will be as bad, but yes, that's a pretty good schedule.
And this was your first full year of fishing MLF style,
right?
What do you think about it? Do you like it? Hate it? Love it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, I made every cut. I made, you know, fished the cups. I made the red crest. I made the heavy hitters. I had a good time this year, and you know, it's like asking the question, do you like Texas Hold'em or you like poker? Both of them are two fun games to play. They really are. And I enjoy the 5 bass limit game, a.k.a. poker, and I enjoy Texas Hold'em, a.k.a. the BP. Both of them are great, exciting games to play. There's, you know, it would just be a toss-up in us trying to argue which one's better. They're both great games. They both have their, you know, intensity moments in them, you know, whether it's catching your fifth keeper or making the cut, or, you know, it's both of them are great games. So I enjoyed the BPT, and I enjoyed fishing the few FLW tours towards the end, the 5 bass. It was fun to play that game back again. So
was there any your part there, like dealing, having to deal with penalties now or anything? Was there any kind of hiccups that you had, or because you seem to just sail right into it, and
I fell right into it with the penalties. I think I got more penalties this year than anybody. Just every time I turn around, that dude is Dudley. That's a 2-minute penalty. I'm like, for what? And he's telling me, and I forget. And then next thing you know, he's like, Dudley, that's a 2-minute penalty. I say, for what? And then just slinging them back, you know, forgetting to put them over the gunnel. I was a king of penalties this year. I racked them up. I bet you I was ranked number 1 in penalties.
I want to research that.
There is a stat out there. We can find out who was the most penalized angler.
There probably was.
Definitely. We got a question before we do let you go here. I just got to find it again now. We got a question from Scott McPhails, and he wanted to know, how close is the test pond away from being finished?
Scott, he is like the king of comments, and there's no surprise that he is on this channel asking a question. So we're getting close. We're building a bridge to go over the pond. I'm just waiting on it to get delivered. And once it's delivered, I got to order my wetsuit, and then we're going to start filming. But I can't get anything done till I get my bridge done. So we The test pool is still in process. I can't wait to start testing lures, and I think you guys can't wait to start seeing the test lures too. So
I
I'm
can't
excited.
wait to come up there.
Yep.
Definitely.
Anything new for 2021 you want to share with us?
Not yet. There's a huge announcement coming soon. I mean, very soon, probably within a week.
Well, don't forget where to break it at.
Yeah, there's a huge announcement coming. Yeah, for sure.
Awesome.
David, you got a lot of fans out there, well deserved. But you do a really good job on your social media and your YouTube channel. You've been doing a fantastic job. You do a live version of your show fairly often. Is that a regularly scheduled thing, or?
No, it's kind of sporadic. That's why it's important to hit the notification button. So if you are a subscriber, make sure you hit that notification button along with Bass365, because that's what's going to keep you in the know. Like, if you don't hit that notification button, you're going to miss out on a lot of good content. So yeah, it's not a frequently scheduled program, but yeah, it goes. We do it quite often. Yep.
Awesome. And I know 2020 was a trying year for most of us out there, almost all of us. You in particular, you had a couple downfalls there. Glad to see you bounce back and you're doing well. Future looks bright, right? Everything looks good for you?
I can tell you this. I will be in the best shape starting this season than I have my whole life. So I've been playing on average 3 hours of racquetball a day, weightlifting. I weigh 185 pounds. Size 32 pants fall down on me. So, like, I never thought, if you ever said, Dudley, you'll ever wear 32s again? Never. And here I am sitting at 185. And so I will be in the best shape. That don't mean I'm going to catch them, of course. But at least entering the season, I'm going to be in good shape. Now, where I end up after the season, I don't know. But, yes, COVID actually saved my life. It really did. COVID is what saved my life from losing my eyesight, losing my legs and arms and limbs. I was in coma stage of diabetes, and I had a 12.1 A1C, and I just got my blood work back 2 days ago, and I've dropped it all the way down to a 7.9, which is still high, but going from a 12 to a 7.9 in 5 weeks, that my doctors were speechless. So I'm focused on getting my health back and getting myself in shape, and hopefully we can turn that into some positive energy with tournament wins this year.
Wow, I'd be a little bit nervous, Mikey, if I was fishing the Bass Pro Tour right now.
Absolutely. You seem it up.
But okay, so usually I have like one little funny story. I've had a couple with Dudley, but I got to throw this challenge out there. And it's not me to Dudley, it's me to all our viewers. If you can skin a deer faster than David Dudley can, you got to get to his house. You got to get the deer, and Dudley's got to get a deer. If you can skin it faster than Dudley can skin it, I'll pay for your airfare back home, or I'll pay to get you back home, because David Dudley can skin a deer faster than anybody on this planet.
I got. Now, you said skinning, but we're talking about field dressing or gutting a deer. So you're right. But just to let the viewers know, I'm undefeated. I've never lost a bet in under 30 seconds, completely gut. I got a video out where I gutted 2 deer in 37 seconds, and I got a video out in 2 minutes and 31 seconds. I completely gutted 6 deer in 2 minutes and 31 seconds. So, yes, if somebody wants to challenge me, you can bring it on. But I don't think you're going to win. I don't think that.
There's 2 things I don't ever want to do. I don't want to fish and compete against David Dudley, and I certainly don't want to clean a deer now.
So where can people find all these videos at, David?
It's on YouTube. Just go to David Dudley Outdoors, and you can find just about every video you want.
Absolutely. And we try to post as many of them as we can on Bass365. So
There you go.
Anywhere else that the folks should be looking for you if they're not already following you? Instagram, Facebook?
Yeah, Instagram, David Dudley Fish. And Facebook is just, David Dudley. You can search for me. You'll find me on both platforms. I think I'm on Twitter, but I ain't a Twitter guy. So I'm not a Snapchat guy. I'm not a whatever. All the Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube is where I'm at.
All right, that sounds good. And the Proficiency rods, we already know we can get them at Walmart if you have them at your Walmart. If they can't find them at their own local Walmart, where else can they get rods?
Yeah, you can get them off the website at proficiency.com.
Very good, very good. Well, I'm actually really excited to get my hands on a couple of those and try them out myself. Down here in Florida, I think that's what do you say, 7.2 or 7.3 was the casting rod.
I got a 7'2" medium heavy, and I got a 7'6" heavy that are in all the stores.
So I need a new frog rod. Which one would you recommend?
Yeah, if you're more open water frog fishing, like shade lines, very sparse grass, I'd go with the 7.2. But if you're frog fishing in, extremely heavy mats and, moss, I'd go with my 7.6.
All right. That's like I said, I'm not even joking. I really needed a new frog rod after today. I did that I was using. So I need to get a new one. So maybe that'll be the one that I'll check out. I'm in Florida, so I'm mostly heavy stuff anyway.
Hey, Mikey, let's get that last question in there. It might be a funny answer to it. I don't know.
I don't know much about it. So Oakster Bassin wants to know if you still own a Poulon chainsaw.
Yeah, I actually do. And hey, so here you go, Oxter or whatever. So hopefully, here is my actual trophy case, and there is the actual chainsaw blade that I used to win the 700,000. There's my socks. That's the shoes. There's the pair of jeans. And actually, those are the two jigs that I used to win the 700,000. So pretty cool.
There's a story there that I don't know. Why do you have a chain blade in there?
Yeah, I found an oxbow that was had a lot of lay down trees leading up into a backwater oxbow, and I cut some of the trees out of the way that were blocking the channel and got in there and the last day and caught enough fish in there to win 700.
That is an incredible story. Incredible story.
Yeah.
What tournament was that, David?
The Millennium, which was 2002, I think. I'm looking at 2002.
And where was that?
The Mobile Delta.
That's right.
Mobile Delta.
Is there last question, and then we got to let you go. Is there a win that sticks out more than any other one?
Yeah, probably the one that I don't know how to say it, but appreciate the most was the Beaver Lake win. And because that tournament, I truly was not on. I know people say it all the time, but I was on nothing. And when I say nothing, my wife actually said that's the first time that week. She said that's the first time she ever heard fear in my voice. Like she's like, I didn't let you know, but I heard the fear in your voice. She knew I had a very bad practice, and then just entered the day and just kind of just let it flow, and I ended up winning the tournament. So the Beaver Lake win was a pretty cool one because I was on nothing and ended up coming away with the win. So that was a good.
Your faith plays a lot into your fishing too.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you can't do it on your own. Like you can't. Like it's easier said than done. Just trust, trust in God. Trust it's easier because flesh always wants to take over. And if you allow your flesh to guide you and not God guide you, then you're going to get in trouble. So, yeah.
So a lot of great information from Dave tonight, Mikey. If you got any last questions, get in now, and then let's shut this thing down. Let him get back to his family.
Sounds good. One last question that I like to ask about everyone out there. We know you got a great season coming up, a good schedule. We like a lot of the lakes that are there, and a lot of play into your wheel very well. But if you could go to one lake anywhere in the country to compete in a tournament, what would be your ideal paradise of a lake? Where would you like to go fish?
It's hard to beat Champlain or the St. Lawrence River. Either one of those, they got excellent largemouth fishing, excellent smallmouth fishing in both of those fisheries. So I know Champlain is, it's one of the best. I mean, probably Champlain, and then St. Lawrence River would be my second, top river or lake to go to. I mean, Erie's a great place too,
Yeah, of course. Well, I mean, you're definitely a smallmouth guy then. That's it.
I like them. I'm not saying I do well in them all the time, but when you can catch a smallmouth, turn around, release it, and catch it again 30 seconds later, that's an aggressive fish,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And like you said, there's good largemouth there too. And actually, Sandusky at the FLW Super Tournament, you predominantly targeted largemouth when everybody else.
Yep, I did. I sure did. I forgot. I don't know where I finished at. It was, I want to say maybe 4th place, but I did it all on largemouth at Lake Erie, that was a lot of people were amazed at that. I was actually amazed at that. I was actually fishing scared just to get a $10,000 check, and I ended up finishing 4th, I think. I don't remember, but top 10'd it for sure on largemouth.
You were definitely top for sure. All largemouth, all greenfish, all targeting. Was that the game plan?
I caught one smallmouth, but he was in a largemouth area, and I went, "What are you doing in here?" So I did weigh in one smallmouth, but not because I targeted it. He was just, I reckon, lost. Like he didn't know where he was at, So I like those dumb lost ones sometimes. And I had one smallmouth that I weighed in, but again, because he was totally lost. He was not where he should have been. Yeah.
Was that because you wanted to target largemouth, or it had the weather, the winds, the big waves? Did all that have play into it, or?
Yeah, I wasn't going out there doing $20,000 of damage to my boat. I was fishing scared, and fishing scared ended up doing pretty good. So,
absolutely.
I didn't. They were releasing us and whatever, however big. Didn't want to do it. So
guys doing like an 80-mile run across there.
I know. I'm not going to do it. And they got a $10,000 check, but I can assure you, they only bonus like $3,000 of that check technically after entry fee and expenses back, and that $3,000 was spent working, getting their boat back in order. So no, we wasn't for that.
Interviews on that in the service yard afterwards because everybody was in there, but not you. I don't see you in. That's for sure.
Nope. I was good to go.
You're gone way over now, buddy.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate David. It's always good talking to you. Entertaining. You have definitely changed my opinion for life on the Ned rig now. I'm looking forward to doing another show so we can really dig deep into a wacky rig and see what your take is on that. But entertaining is always, and educational, of course. It's great to talk to you. We thank you very much for coming on with us. And more importantly, have yourself a good holiday. Merry Christmas to you and your family. And we really look forward to doing this again, but looking forward to seeing you dominate one more time in 2021.
I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
See you, David. Right. Take it easy,
man.
All
right. Bye.
Well, there we go, Ricky.
I knew that was going to be a good one.
You all can see the look on my face, but my wife Amanda is sitting over here. You should have seen the look on her face. To poop out of a duck's butt. That was incredible. Incredible. You did warn me. You did. I will give you that, Ricky. You warned me that he's gonna crack us up.
But and there's hundreds more stories like that.
Just imagine. I'm looking forward to having him on again, just to hear those. But he gave some great information about that active target. I am super excited to see it. I think we've all experienced the forward imaging, that's out there, that has been out there. And like we said earlier with Bill McDonald, having a new one out there as competition is probably just going to improve the other side as well too. Sure, so
I agree.
Bill, while you were trying to get David Dudley on here, I think it's going to help the competition altogether. When you don't have an advantage anymore over anybody else, it's going to make you want to work a little bit harder. So I'm really excited to see how this is going to shake things up, especially on tours like the Bass Pro Tour, where they're going with every fish counts.
Right. And I mean, you see it. I think what impresses me so much is you see it with the trolling motors. We went forever and had 2 brands of trolling motor, and then Minn Kota came out with the Ultrex. Now there's 4, possibly 5 on the way, new trolling motors that are so much better than anything we ever had before ever. I mean, I've run the Ghost quite a bit, in fact, and it's just a super impressive motor.
Yeah. Yeah. We talk about this, and we were definitely, you and I are talking about doing a show on budget fishing. If you don't have the money to buy these $2,500 units or $3,000 trolling motors and stuff like that, how do you get by? I fished most of my career on basics, nothing. I've had boats that didn't even have electronics on it.
Right.
I didn't need them. At least I didn't think I did. And like these guys are telling us, it's not so much that they need it, it's there. So they're using it to their advantage. Right. And I think it's one of those things that anybody that says, you don't need that, is because they've never had it. But as soon as they have it and they've been able to use it and see how much better it can help you, I think it's an absolute bonus. But I think it's going to be a great show. I don't know who we're going to get on here for that or who would be the best one. But maybe you guys can tell us, all our fans that are sitting out here watching, we want to do a show on budget fishing. We did real well with Keith Poche on his aluminum boats, John Cox on his aluminum boats. But what would, be a good guest out here that we really think would really be able to explain the advantages and maybe where you should save some money or could save some money when you're talking about rigging up your boat?
Absolutely, Mikey. We got a lot of big things coming in 2021. Excited about it. You guys have been downloading the app. It shows in the downloads. We're going to make that thing, something everybody's going to want to get involved in. Mikey, we've been on here for an hour and a half now.
Yeah, we're an hour and a half. That's it.
Seems like 15 minutes, but go ahead and close this thing down. Tell everybody what they need to do, where they need to go, and hey, thank you for hosting this thing tonight.
Of course. Well, guys, we are going to call it quits for tonight because it's been a long time, but it's been a fantastic show. Great guests on there. Bill McDonald, David Dudley. If you just joined an hour, you didn't have a chance to see it, it's going to be there on YouTube. It'll be out on Facebook and, of course, on the Bass365 live app. And I want to give a special shout out and thanks to everybody that was watching from the app out there. It's growing incredibly leaps and bounds. It's growing so fast, and it's only going to get better the more you that get on there. So if you're not there yet, guys, get on the new app, Bass365 Live. It's available for iPhones, Androids, even your laptop out there. It's a free download. Get on there and then register yourself, and you can join the social walls out there as well, where you can post, you can buy, you can sell, you can even just brag. Whatever you want to do, the Bass365 Live app, we made it from anglers for anglers. So it's just fishing, none of the other social media clutter that is out there today. If you don't want to deal with the stuff, let's put it that way, get on the Bass365. It's Fishing 365. That's what it is, from us to you guys. So, and we're both there, so we'll be happy to see you guys there. And again, make sure you're following us on all our platforms: Instagram, Facebook, here on YouTube, here on Facebook, and of course the website bass365.com to stay in touch with all the latest and greatest, all the news from the bass fishing industry. But if you really want to go one step further and you want to look the part as well, head to the store, bass365.com. We actually just changed the address to that, did we not?
It's the Bass365 store.
Okay.
Yep.
So the bass365store.com. Real easy to do. All the great apparel that these guys got, but a lot of the great things that they've got on their boats, the advantages that they've got, maybe or not, tools, tricks, tactics, rapid fishing solutions, they're on there. Hopefully we get some Proficiency rods on there. That would be really nice too.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of great stuff, and of course, all the Bass365 swag at the bass365store.com. Guys, we appreciate it so much. Thank you for all the great comments and questions today. Keep on joining. Like Dudley said, make sure you click the notification button to notify when we come back. But we're here every Tuesday and Thursday evenings on the Bass365 Livecast. Any idea who we got next?
Find out tomorrow.
We'll find out tomorrow. You guys will have to, it'll be a surprise. But we will be back Thursday night at 8 o'clock for the very next Bass365 Livecast. Guys, thank you very much. If we don't see you before then, have a happy holidays, and we will talk to you guys on the flip side.
All right, Mikey. Good night, man. We'll talk to you tomorrow.